Hey, in this video I'm going to talk about how to hold Mirage with two people. How to hold the A site of Mirage with two people. This is in some ways specific to this site, and it is in some ways a general principle to holding anything in Counter-Strike with a rifle. With an AWP is different, but with a rifle or pistol or SMG, not so much shotgun. Any basic weapon in Counter-Strike is if you're holding an area that has two choke points, the first thing you learn is say, I'm holding this, you hold this, that way we have information. That works really well if A, you're playing against worse players than you, or B, you both have Awps. Because you don't need two Awps holding the same thing. One AWP is enough to hold an angle. That's the whole purpose of that's half the purpose of the weapon. But with a rifle, in this version of Counter-Strike, one person holding the angle, especially if it's long range, just ain't enough. I don't know, my AK went, so I'll buy a new one. And what I mean by this version of Counter-Strike, I mean because it's harder to spray people down, like the spray gets inaccurate after like the fourth bullet, then it's really not worth going for, what the hell? It's really not worth going for, what the hell's going on with my crosshair? There we go. It's really not worth going for spray downs. You really gotta tap and burst people at long range. The spray just will fail you after like 8 bullets. So you really can't hold a choke point from more than one person. The question is, what do you do? And the answer is you make crossfires. And crossfires are when both people are watching the same angle instead of one watching each angle. So I'll give an example. For the easiest one is for ramp, where you'd have one player holding this and another player holding this. So they're both playing very similar types of angles. They're both playing close ramp. Well, they're both playing close A, and they're both watching ramp. No one's watching Palace. But the thing about this is if they come out, there's no way that a terrorist one-taps both of you. It doesn't happen. And if you both have the same reaction time, each of you just needs to get 2 bullets into the guy. 2 bullets hide, 2 bullets hide. And he'll be dead. He'll be dead, and you may have taken 0 damage. One of you may have taken 50 damage. But the idea is that if 3 people rush, and then you both attempt to spray down, because both of you will be firing full auto, you should be able to get all the kills. Get all 3 kills, and maybe both of you survive. Best case scenario, you get all the kills, both of you survive. And then we play the 5v2. That's left over. So there's a huge upside on making these crossfires. The downside is, what if someone comes out the other one? So what if I'm here, I decide to pop flash out Palace, and 3 guys jump out and kill you. Well, first of all, you'll hear them, and then you push ramp. Because you know that no one's pushed ramp, and so you push ramp and you play for the retake. Maybe you try and get a kill while they push site. So there is a risk to crossfires, is that they can come out the other side. Also, if they walk out, they might be able to walk out and get a quick one tap and then plant the bomb. That happens, and what you do to prevent that is the guy who's close, you just check once in a while. So you're here, maybe you just check, and then you come right back, just to make sure that they're not walking out. If they rush it, fine, but if they walk out, you should know You can also do stuff like that, although that does let them know where you are. Or utility. Come up here, drop a smoke, or come here. You can knock smokes off the ceiling. So if you want to crossfire ramp, smoke off palace, and then hold ramp. Because if you smoke palace, it'll make them want to go ramp, and you can kill them. Up until now, I've only given one example of a crossfire, and I've given it for ramp. There are other crossfires you can do from ramp, like let's see here. You could do default and triple, and just agree that you won't peek palace. You just hold like this, and then the other guy goes here. That can be really useful against there's an execute where they throw these 3 smokes. I haven't seen it in a long time, but I've seen it in demos where they smoke that off, and then they try and wrap connector, and it can be nice because you can both push through the smoke, get a kill, and fall back. You can do the same thing with palace, where the triple guy holds here, and the default guy holds here. That can work. You can also do things where the close guy holds this angle, and then the far guy holds this angle. So you're both holding headshot angles at palace, and then the ticket booth guy can spot. In general, the guy further back is going to be he's going to be the anchor player. So last season I anchored Mirage, and I did a whole bunch of stuff like this with you, O-Town, even though you didn't know it because I hadn't told you guys about it. But there were rounds where I would get 2 kills, and like even if O-Town died, I would get 2 kills and survive. And it's usually because I'm doing like cheeky stuff like this. It's not because I suddenly have good aim. No, I don't have good aim. My tracking aim's decent. My flicks are pretty bad. But I can bait people properly. I was baiting you properly, O-Town. Like this. And hopefully if you know that I'm baiting you, you can bait me a little bit in return. And maybe we can both survive more. We'll see. We'll see. The anchor player, who's generally the ticket booth player, it won't be me anymore since I'm anchoring B now. He's the one who calls which side we're going to crossfire. You don't want to crossfire the same angle all half. You want to mix it up. So at the beginning of the round, I could say, all right, I'm going to molly ramp. Let's crossfire palace. And then I come out, I throw the molly like I do. I watch to make sure no one rushes the molly, because sometimes an op will rush the molly. And then when the molly's fading, I'll smoke it off, make sure no one jumps through. All the smoke blooms, boom. Now I'm in a crossfire. Or maybe you jump, maybe you're at, maybe O-Town, you decided to push up here. Then me, I say, oh, okay, you wanna play from there? I'll play from up here. And if you shoot, I pre-fire. Like, you're holding this. Occasionally you'll check ramp, but you'll hide, you'll peek, you'll peek, you'll peek. If you see someone, I know you're gonna squat and spray, and then hopefully that'll catch their attention. I can get a kill, and then follow it up and maybe get 2. That kind of thing. There's all sorts of shit you can do on a site. Even if you just have 2 players, you can make it feel like there are 4 players by focusing on one area. It's a high risk, high reward type thing, but as a CT, they have better guns than you, and also they have a better idea of where you are and how many there are. So you need to make up for your disadvantages. One way is to push stuff, get information, or push ramp and surprise them and get a couple of kills. But the other way is to coordinate and set up crossfires. I want to work on that in our scrims today.